When I started coaching back in 2003, I had no website, no email list, and no idea where my first client was actually going to come from. And over the years, I've been asked so many times by new coaches and also more experienced ones how I figured that out, how I started to attract clients and build the business I have today. So in this week's video, I'll be answering 5 of the most common questions I get asked both from new and also sometimes not so new coaches. Honest answers, there's no fluff, just what I learned from over 2 decades, 22 years in this business. So let's dive in. Now, the first question I tend to get asked more than any other is, how do I find my first paying clients? And I guess the truth is probably not on social media. At least mine didn't. And I know back in 2003, social media was still very much at the beginning. But even today, whilst there's a time and a place and a value for social media within your business, it's probably not going to be the client generating tool I guess you might like it to be, at least not at the beginning. Instead, your first paying client might well come from someone that you already know. Maybe a friend or a friend of a friend or a work contact or someone who's seen you at an event, a meeting or a party, for example. My first paying client came from an A4 sheet of paper that I printed up on my computer at home and pinned to the notice board in the local library. But it was offering free initial sessions just to make sure we're a good fit. And surprised when a couple of days later, somebody actually called. And no matter how nervous I was on that first call, and believe me, I was nervous. I forgot to ask their name and had to call them back and just check what it was. But it began me on that journey towards letting the world know that I was in business, that I was a coach, and I'm here. So don't wait for a fancy website. Don't wait until you've got that perfect marketing strategy in place, because the truth is, most coaches haven't. Just start. Start telling people what you do and how you can help. Question number 2 is, do I need a niche or can I coach anyone? And I know it's a big one and it trips so many coaches up. It did me in the beginning, but my take these days is that you don't necessarily need the perfect niche on day one, but it would help if you had some clarity about what you do and what kind of people you could do it with, who could benefit from your coaching. So think about it in terms of theme. Not necessarily a job title. For example, I help people find confidence in their career again. It's a lot easier to share than I can coach anyone on anything. Clarity builds trust, and trust brings clients. Question number 3 is, how should I price my coaching when I'm just starting out? Now, pricing, I know, is where mindset really shows up. If you're just starting out, ask yourself, what feels fair? And what feels like I can show up 100% of the time without feeling resentment or burnout if it gets really busy right from the get-go. Some coaches underprice themselves because they're new. And of course, others overprice themselves based on what they think they know and also what they should be charging. Now, obviously, research helps. Find out what other coaches in your niche or your theme are charging, and you'll find there's a massive range there. And then just think about it in terms of what feels right for you. Find your zone. And remember, your price can and probably will grow as you sign more clients and grow your business too. Question 4, what do I do if a coaching session feels awkward or flat? Now, firstly, breathe. Every coach has sessions that wobble. So if it's feeling flat or awkward, ask a bold or a disruptive question. For example, let's pause for a moment and just reconnect with the session. Or you might ask, what would make this session feel even more valuable for you? A good coach doesn't need to have all the answers. It's really important to remember that. But we do need to have the courage to ask the right question, even if occasionally it's difficult. Question 5, should I offer free sessions to get more experience or build my business? And the answer is yes, but with a plan. Now, what I mean is this: if you're new to coaching, and maybe offering 3 to 5 sessions is a great way to build confidence, because at the end of the day, that's what coaches do. We coach, and the more you coach, whether that's free or paid, the more confidence and the more experience you'll gain. However, set a time limit. Let the people that you're offering those free sessions to know that you're doing this to build up your practice. And part of that is by gaining more experience and testimonials, which is how they can ultimately pay for the session. Plus, after that, if they want to continue, then you would move over to paid sessions. Otherwise, if you continue on free, it gets awkward. You feel like you're selling yourself short, and that's where possibly burnout comes from as well. So those are just 5 of the most common questions I tend to get asked from new coaches all the time. And if one of them has hit home or resonated more with you, let me know in that comments box immediately below this video. And if you're just starting out your coaching journey, or maybe more experienced and want to show up with more confidence when you speak, present, or maybe coach online, I'd encourage you to grab my free video guide. It's called 5 Weird Ways to Start Your Presentation and Make a Great First Impression. The link, as always, will be in the description box immediately below this video. Remember, if you've enjoyed this video, click that like button, and also click the subscribe and the bell icon so you get to know next time I upload a new video. And the next one will be about speaking with more confidence when you need to speak up in your coaching business too. So until then, take care.